What's going on, guys? Nick Sanchez here. We're back at it again with another quick review. But before getting into the video, shout out to Roger Beasley Mazda, located here in Austin, Texas, for giving me a chance to use the vehicle. If you are in the market for a car and live in the Austin area, we got 3 convenient locations for you. One in South Austin, Central Austin, and Georgetown. All right, now with the review. Today, we got a 2022 Mazda MX-5 here for you. Let me go ahead and read off some of the specs. So 2022 MX-5 Sport, MSRP of $28,715. It's going to have a 2.0 4-cylinder engine, 6-speed manual transmission, and the MPGs are at 26 city, 34 highway. This one is going to be a 0 to 60 in 6 to 6.4 seconds at 181 horsepower with a curb weight of 2,341. And yeah, we have this one in this beautiful platinum quartz and with the black interior. So with that said, let's go ahead and get right into the walk around. Starting from the rear, we got the MX-5 badging, Sky Active G. You will have a backup camera, and then we got a couple of chrome exhaust tips there. Let's go ahead and back up and pan around to the side. This one will have the black top, and you'll have blacked out 16-inch wheels, and the side mirrors are going to be blacked out as well, just overall tying and complementing the car's colorway and scheme, making it look very nice and slick. Now coming around to the front grille, and I must say this platinum quartz is a very nice color. Kind of reminds me how Mazda did it with the polymetal gray, where it's almost like 2 colors that are just infused very, very nicely. So as you can see, this one, depending on how the light hits it, you'll see it'll have like a golden hue to it. But then if it hits it at a different angle, then you'll start to see the silverness tones to the color. So overall, excellent job. I'm a fan of this color. So let's go ahead and pan around here to the side. And of course, here's your window sticker with MSRP of $28,715. Awesome. And let's go ahead and wrap it up right here. And while we're back here, before we check out the trunk, here's the key fob, same as the other Mazdas, which you got lock, unlock, the button to the trunk, and the emergency button. Let's go ahead and take a peek on the inside. It's going to be pretty cramped. Of course, it's a very small car, so nothing too spectacular. You do have the manual tire inflator kit, a couple of carpets back here. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a peek on the inside. You do have the touch keyless entry. Opening the door, you do have your window functions here, and since this is a sport, you'll just have the manual controllers to adjust your seats. Let's go ahead and have a seat and check out the inside. So we are behind the wheel of the Miata here. Left hand side, you do have your info button, the Bluetooth controllers. Right hand side, the cruise control. Down below, you do have the skid control, as well as the lane keep assist, and below that you'll have the buttons to the trunk and the hood latch, and then you got your 3 pedals right there. All right, so let's go ahead and engage the clutch. Push start, of course. Beautiful. Okay, so let me close the door, and here are the gauges. You press the info button. You do have a couple of different options on the left-hand side: trip A, trip B, miles averaged, and so forth. Overall, very simple design, very nice with the tachometer or the RPM gauge in the center, and then the speed on the right-hand side. Now, panning around, you do have your infotainment center. Let's go ahead and get this in reverse. Now the screen is the older model, unlike the newer models in the CX-5 and CX-9 that have updated screens. So this still has the base technology. That way, you know, it's lighter weight, as well as just keeping it at a minimalist design. So down below, you do have your AC vents, AC controllers, push start, the USB gauge to connect to your Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, small little cubby for your phone, and of course here's your 6-speed manual transmission. Center, we do have the bigger knob to control the infotainment center, the smaller for the volume, and of course a couple of shortcut keys. And then here's the handbrake. Now here's the center console with very small storage, nice and compact, and of course a couple of cup holders, second storage area, and there's actually some storage behind the seats, so let me go ahead and show you that. I am on the passenger back side. As you can see, there's an actual small little storage compartment right there, and it's going to be the same thing on the driver's side. And around to the driver's side, you can see it's going to be the same setup, small little cubby right in the back. Here's a shot of the engine bay. It's going to have that 2.0 4-cylinder engine. It's going to be pumping about 181 horsepower, which is a nice upgrade from the older Miatas, which they were pumping about 155, like the 2016 that I used to own was at that 155. So the 181, you can notice it, especially in the higher end. But overall, very clean engine bay. Mazda kept it simple with the Miata. Cut the weight, not have any additional plastics or engine covers on the engine itself. Of course, before we head on our test drive, let me show you guys the soft top. Now, owning the soft top myself, I did enjoy it very much because it's so simple. I'm doing this with one hand, and that's it. That is literally it. There you go. So that's one of the perks to having a soft top. Taking the top down is super quick, unlike the RF model where you might have a couple of seconds, but literally with the soft top is just 1 or 2 seconds and you're ready to go. Now on to the test drive. Now I'm a big fan of the Miata. I mean, personally owning one, I know how fun these things can be. It's a little traffic here on the road, but first things first, let's step on it. Oh yeah, it's very rev happy, especially in that mid tier right there. And that's the beautiful thing about these little cars. I'm already at 60 miles an hour. That's the beautiful thing about these little cars. Even though they're not a a horsepower machine like maybe like a typical Mustang or anything like that, just the lightweight and the 181 horsepower is a great combination. So it makes it a zippy, fun little car. And once you come to the realization that these cars are meant to just, drive down some windy roads and just have fun with, and not so much like a straight line driving experience, then you can kind of really appreciate the Miata more, right? Another thing is, with these little cars, if you're a manual car enthusiast, I mean, once you learn how to double clutch, toe heel, these cars, the driving experience is heightened even more, because then you get to use those advanced manual driving techniques and really just elevate the experience on the Miata. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the exterior. Now, not too much has changed on the exterior. It's a very classic design. I mean, compared it to like a 2016, it's relatively same. Maybe just some minor things here and there, but overall, very good looking vehicle. That front end, very aggressive, and I'm a big fan myself. Now for the interior is pretty much a minimalist setup, and it kind of has to be because of the size of the vehicle, and that's fine once you realize that you're going to lose a little bit of the creature comfort you get for a full-size sedan, just to kind of be in this cockpit of the Miata. Then you don't mind it so much. The technology is pretty much up to par. You got your blind spot, cruise control, backup camera, so everything is relatively okay in terms of the safety features for this vehicle, and just for the size. I mean, you can clearly see anything around you just because how small it is. Alrighty, now about the driving experience. Now the seats are pretty decent for what they are. Myself, I had a Grand Touring, so I prefer the leather and the feel of the leather. Of course, if you're more of an enthusiast, then you'll probably want something like Recaro seats. The clutch is smooth, shifting the gears is awesome, and everything is so close together. I mean, you can control this vehicle very well at all times. And then last but not least, the convertible. That's what makes this a roadster. That's fun. I mean, a nice warm day here in Austin. Oh man, there's nothing greater than having the top down, a little bit of wind in your hair, shades on, or even at nighttime when it's a little bit cooler, just enjoying the night scenery. And it's always awesome to have a convertible. And one last thing, this is probably going to be probably a second vehicle for you. I mean, you can daily drive these, but obviously space is something to take into consideration, especially if you're going to a grocery store or something like that. So more than likely this is going to be a second vehicle. It's great, it's fun, it's a perfect weekend driver, and especially with the top-down experience. And that wraps it up for this quick review on the 2022 Mazda Miata in this beautiful platinum quartz. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. I'd appreciate if you hit that subscribe button. Once again, shout out to Roger Beasley Mazda here in Austin. If you are in the market for a car, check out their website, rogerbeasleymazda.com, or you can check the link in the description down below. All right, folks, until next time, see ya.